Republican lawmakers who represent our region are reacting to the government shutdown. Northwest Wisconsin Congressman Tom Tiffany said today, quote, the House passed a clean bipartisan budget bill nearly 2 weeks ago to keep the government open. Senate Democrats are holding our government hostage to give free health care to illegal aliens, end quote. Minnesota 8th District Congressman Pete Stauber says House Republicans already passed what he called a clean resolution to keep the government open, accusing Democrats of pushing a partisan spending plan. He's urging Senate Democrats to avoid what he calls a, quote, Schumer shutdown any more than we already have one. On the other side of the aisle, Minnesota U.S. Senator Tina Smith's biggest shutdown concern as a Democrat is the impact of rising health care premiums.
In the Duluth area, we think that the average premium increase is $180 a month, and that is something that people just can't afford right now. We're saying, let's get together, let's work on this. This is something that benefits all of our constituents.